Hello, favorite I'm Mr. Who Views. And today I'm doing My Hero Academia, the girl who loves smiles. Yeah, this is the second last episode of the final season. And it just begins with showing a gentle criminal has been released from prison because of his efforts in the war. But when Hawks went to see Lady Nagant, she's saying she's gonna stay in since she's just worried about going out to society and being used again. And it said that could actually show the whole world something that changed it. So I just gotta wait and see how how the world changes because of that. And it's gotta be like get milking the taxpayer dollars by saying it in prison. Yeah, and Hawks just gives a little joke saying she's act like a villain. And yeah, they like exchange rounds a few scenes because this is supposed to take place before Hawk gives a call to the heroes he did last time, and Deku's visit to a spinner was after this, I think, but in like the manga, but I don't know. And yeah, Deku is visiting Spinner and tell him Shigaraki last words to him. And yeah, do find a little funny that Spinner calls Deku a murderer, and Deku's saying they he accepts being called that since he does feel he fails to hear the same Shigaraki. And when Spinner is just giving out and saying uh who Tomura Shigaraki is to him, the doctor that was with Deku and Spinner was going to today, but Deku just let just put a hand and Spinner now his motions. And Spinner just saying who Shigaraki is to him. There's a news report going on to some what other people see Shigaraki. Some see him as a murderer or villain, and this old woman was saying couldn't he be dealt with sooner, and that's the same old woman that didn't help Shigaraki when he was a kid. And this one guy, I do agree a little bit what he was saying when they revealed that the police or some sort of authorities are figured out Shigaraki's origin, and the guy saying that they shouldn't be sympathetic, like what Shigaraki went through was devastating, but they shouldn't be sympathetic because history could repeat itself, and other villains might or other people that have like a villainous intentions might be inspired by him. Mm. And one guy just sees Shigaraki is a piece of crap. Hmm. And yeah, Spinner's done letting his emotions out. He's saying Deku's gonna write a book telling the tale of Tomura Shigaraki. I think it's kind of similar to what Destro did, and Deku actually suggested the Spinner to make it into a comic book. But I think that probably referenced when All For One and his brother bonded through comic, but mm. Spinner tells Deku he has his own message to relay to the octopus. They keep going on with life or something like that. Hmm. Again, I think the part was good, but yeah, I think the manga did a little bit better it had a spinner, like it has spinner, still has spinner like let his motions out, but it kept changing from Deku's scarred side of his face and the other one, and the scarred side of his face was the one that Spinner was yelling at. And yeah, Spinner's saying that he could have done more after uh, Sick Rocky went up against Sergeant Stripes, and maybe he did, he'd be alive, but mm, you know. Anyway, back in UA, Bucko and Shoto are being chased by the first years. He is all of our fans. And Ada has been one to calm everybody down and let them realize that they're still like recovering from the battle. And yeah, they do apologize. And one first year saying that he's in he wants to he's a fight and he just got courage and Deku inspired him to do something. And yeah, Deku hesitantly or nervously was said okay since he's still feeling some pain and probably just reminded what a spinner said. Yeah, and I was told that the press wants to do some interviews with Class A. He just told him or told President Mike to tell him no since uh he just wants to protect the students that aren't ready to relive the war. I also find it funny that Banana says to show how jealous of Bucko. He's crying tears of blood. Oh god, I don't know. I think I missed stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, as Class A is off to fix a part of Japan, Bucko runs into Edshot, who hadn't fully recovered, but he's planning to recover a bit more, and be better than what he was, and that gave Bucko a smile. And some of the citizens actually came to give Class 1A some food, to saying they're not going to just stand by and let the heroes do all the work, or they're supporting them by cheering and that. And I found Mr. Cemento coming with the first years, and they just apologise for what they did, and they're helping out with the construction as well. And yeah, Chaku is saying that everything's going back to normal little by little and get something to eat. But that night, it's revealed that Chaku's going home, and Sue is a bit worried that she hadn't, or that Osaka hadn't messed her back, and turned out that Osaka was at the play for Deku had, or she and Deku had their her villains. Yes, it seems that the city is slowly getting better, but still feeling some pain, and she's trying to repress it. And turned out the camera that this new reporter was had during the fight between her and Toga didn't work at the end, so nobody knows that Toga sacrificed her life for Ochaku's. And at the pain, it's getting worse. Deku shows up, and yeah, he just says to Ochaku how he knew he was gonna be there, and he asked him why is he there, and he does give a speech about how he knows Ochaku, like how Ochaku's uh, acting. They mentioned when they first met during the exam, the sports festival, and when he actually got the people in AUA to let him in during the second part of the war. And saying that holding hands can ease some pains, and yeah, he's tearing up, talking to us that's everything out, including her survivor's guilt. Just wondering if that thing could have been different if she didn't like, get stabbed by Tokuda, or if she actually met Tokuda when they were kids, and like you're saying that he's been wondering the same thing about the Togo, the Tomra. And I mean, I'm glad that they had Deku say Ochaku mantra. If heroes are the ones that protect people, then who are the ones that protect the heroes? I don't know if I had that right, but I'm probably close. Uh, and yeah, he just being there for Ochaku, not letting her carry out the weight of the world on her shoulders. Something different than what the All Might was doing. Yeah, it turned out the members of class A showed up, and yeah, just comforting out Shaku, and as Deku is talking to uh, Bakugo, Bakugo was asking if the about the embers, and yeah, no one else in class A knew about that. Yeah, yeah, and then the next day shows that Modema got a statue, and he is just eating it up. Ugh. And yeah, and Aries Packner singing with earphone jack was like kind of like, and everybody's just attending Aoyama's farewell party with Deku, saying if they keep going forward, things that should be better. And credit scene, this kid at this place that's still the sort of using scissors to cut his distal mouth, and he's just wondering why he survived. Future villain or something else? We'll see you next time. And yeah, uh, this was a great episode. I do like the scene where Overhaul reunited with the boss of EA Sky High, and just the talk they had, like the boss saying that the area is the one that deserves Overhaul's lifetime of apologies, but she'll soon forget about him, so the boss be the one that'll come and reprimand him, even though he put out a hand to make sure that Overhaul didn't forget about his humanity. It's pretty good. And yeah, the scene where Deku's wondering if they can ever stop like pain and tragedy, and yeah, and Detective Sugurusi saying, like Risky saying that probably isn't possible because of all the stuff that happens in life. But I think it's important. Like it's the important thing is what you do after all that pain and misery. What you use that for. You use it to as a positive or a negative. So, hmm. And almost that joke of having Hawks put together a hero team, and almost eyes are so white. I wonder if they're like just black because of one for all. You know. And yeah, Deku and Robaka's heart to heart in this was pretty good. Just showing that Deku can be there for her, like he's always been there for him. And and he did like foreshadow Rebecca's wound pain in the previous episode when she was holding on to the play for the was. And yeah, just a Bucko reaction to the fans is pretty good, and the sheer the guy that joined Class A just wouldn't or does I think that Bucko liked the attention, but Bucko didn't get much attention from girls, so probably isn't used to it. Shoji, that's the guy's name. Yeah, I knew that. And yeah, next time will be the last episode of My Hero Academia. Um, and I'm just wondering if it's gonna be good and what differences it will have to the manga. And yeah, it's the end, but I'm looking forward to it. Hmm. That's it. See you guys later.